Tonight, the CHEO Foundation launching an internal review and notifying police.
Money that was intended to come to us as a result of proceeds from these events didn't make it to us.
After they say a former employee misdirected money raised through third-party events. Brightening up access to the ByWard Market.
We need to invest in things like housing, mental health supports, hospitals, etc.
The city today choosing to allocate money to safety downtown over revitalization. And they are affordable apartments in one of the best neighborhoods in the core.
The footprint is way too big. There's nothing of that magnitude in this neighborhood.
Now this Echo building slated for potential demolition and a rebuild, why tenants are fighting back. Good evening. We begin tonight with breaking news. Full service on Ottawa's LRT Line 1 is set to resume for the first time in months. OC Transpo says double car trains will operate on weekdays starting Monday, June 8th. That means trains will return to running every 5 minutes. However, on weekends, single car service will continue. Line 1 has not operated at full capacity since January 22nd, when an issue was discovered with the axle bearings. Metal was flaking off inside those bearings. They replaced several of them and have installed a monitoring system on a number of vehicles. Again, full service will resume June 8th. Well, turning now to concerning news out of the CHEO Foundation, which says a former employee misdirected money raised through fundraising events. CTV's Stefan Keys joins us now with more on this. Steph.
Patricia, the foundation shared the news in a statement today. It says it has launched an internal review and notified the Ottawa police about the alleged incidents. The organization says about a week and a half ago, it discovered that proceeds from certain community-organized third-party events were misdirected by a former employee. They then launched an internal review and hired a forensic investigator before reporting the matter to police. Steve Reed, the president and CEO of the CHEO Foundation, says they are still investigating how much money may have been misdirected and how long this may have been going on for. He says they learned about the alleged incident from talking to one particular event organizer, but wouldn't specify which one.
This is absolutely gutting to us here at CHEO Foundation. Everything that we do is based on trust. It's based on relationships with donors who are kind enough to support us. One of the ways that we are supported is through many community third-party events. These are the car washes, the garage sales, many different ways that people support us. And we found that money that was intended to come to us as a result of proceeds from these events didn't make it to us. It was entrusted to a former employee and it didn't make it to us.
Not much has been disclosed about the employee. Reed says their role was to engage with community partners. The individual left the CHEO Foundation earlier this year, but the departure was not related to this incident. Reed would not say how long the employee had worked there. Reed adds the investigation is looking into whether others were involved, but he is assuring donors that any donations made directly to the CHEO Foundation, including during the CHEO Telethon, are secure. We are waiting to hear back from Ottawa Police for more information on this. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Stefan Keys live for us tonight. Thank you. A significant move by Ottawa Council today to elevate the ByWard Market, choosing to redirect money from revitalization to security. CTV's Kimberly Fowler is here with the details. Kimberly.
Well, Patricia, the city is looking to brighten up some of the busiest gateways into the ByWard Market. In January of last year, the province agreed to give the city $10 million to spruce up the market and turn William Street into a pedestrian plaza. But today, city staff proposed that funding be reallocated from beautification of the ByWard Market towards safety and security. Phil Gore doesn't always feel safe when he walks to the ByWard Market.
It has been uncomfortable at times because there have been people lined up here or sitting along there before they blocked off. There'd be a lot of people up there.
Especially along the Rideau-Sussex underpass.
It's an unfortunate conjunction of, people who are desperate, street people, that sort of stuff, people cutting through here.
Crime is an issue in the area. In April, there was a stabbing leaving a man critically hurt. Now the city wants to focus on public safety as it moves to improve the area.
We're excited about our plans for the ByWard Market, and improving those access points and improving the intersection at Rideau and Sussex is a priority. We're in the process of figuring out the funding model for all of that. I expect going to get help from other levels of government and other forms of revenues as well.
When concerning trends emerge.
Council voting to submit a proposal using $10 million of provincial funding initially allocated to turn William Street into a pedestrian plaza toward projects to improve safety and access to the ByWard Market. The improvements will focus on pedestrian walkways, safety and accessibility, and lighting to key access points, including Rideau Station, the Rideau Street Corridor, and the Rideau Sussex Underpass. The councillor for the area says that's just the start.
Everything that's being discussed and proposed is sort of part-time measures or measures that will only last for a year. We need to invest in things like housing, mental health supports, hospitals, etc.
Businesses in the ByWard Market welcome the move.
Like every other urban center, we all have our struggles. So the investment, I think, is coming at the right time. Everybody's poised to have this happen. We're ready for it, and I think this is like wonderful.
Well, it's not about money. It's more about having more security.
While there is no timeline of when the money will be approved, the city says there is a sense of urgency as the $10 million in provincial funding must be spent by the end of March 2027. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Kimberly Fowler live for us tonight. Thank you. Ottawa's medical officer of health issuing a warning tonight about the upcoming closure of the 2 remaining supervised consumption sites in the city, saying it will likely lead to more visible public drug use, social disorder, and overdoses. The sites are set to shut down in less than 3 weeks when the provincial funding comes to an end. CTV's Leah Larocque has been taking a closer look at this today and joins us with more. Leah?
Patricia, Dr. Trevor Arneson is painting a vivid picture of what could happen in our city if drug users don't have a supervised space to go to. We spoke with people at one of the sites here in Ottawa who say they worry for their lives and many others.
That's low grade fentanyl.
Luke knows the difference a supervised consumption site can make.
I've been using a safe consumption site now since I've been using. It's the only place I use because it's the best place where if I was to overdose or anything were to happen, then they're there for me.
He doesn't know where he'll go after the site at the Sandy Hill Community Health Centre closes next month.
So I could throw this on the street and someone else be using it. And maybe I have a disease or maybe I don't. And
provincial funding for all sites run out in less than 3 weeks. And Ottawa's top doctor is issuing a stark warning, saying there will be increased likelihood of overdose and outcomes such as brain injury and death. And there will be visible drug use, social disorder, public safety concerns, and increased discarded drug paraphernalia. Concerns echoed by the mayor.
My message to the province would be we need more help and support. We need as much funding as possible to support people who are going through a drug crisis. Not everyone is going to seek treatment at a heart hub immediately.
The province will now only fund homeless and addictions recovery treatment hubs, saying they will give support to break the cycle of addiction. Even though the province is moving towards a heart hub model, Peter Tilley at the Ottawa Mission says it doesn't have to be either or. Both the heart hubs and the supervised consumption sites can work together.
Hearing is what is the plan for those people who still suffer from addiction? Where are they going to go to use their substances safely? It's unfortunate that people are going to suffer. Those who suffer from addiction are not going to be in a safe place.
The city preparing as best they can. As for Luke, he says the decision to close the sites could have dangerous and tragic outcomes.
Not only myself, but for others, because now maybe people won't be getting the proper gear. Sure, you wake up sick afterwards, but I'd rather wake up sick than dead.
Approximately 1,700 people access the consumption sites each year in Ottawa, according to Public Health. The province says instead of giving people tools to use harmful, illegal drugs, they're helping people break the tragic cycle of drug addiction by making record investments in more mental health and wraparound support. The sites close on June 13th. Patricia.
CTV's Leah Larocque live for us tonight. Thank you. We do have extended coverage of the upcoming closure of the supervised consumption sites in this city. There are more stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Still ahead, a streetcar named 696 now relocated and ready for public viewing. Why you might appreciate this restored slice of Ottawa's history. That story coming up. Taking a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam. Another beautiful evening out there. It's 21 degrees in Ottawa right now. It was a nice sunny day today. Not quite as hot as where we got to yesterday, but lovely and pleasant. Mainly cloudy this evening. We do have a slight chance of showers this evening. Chance of showers tomorrow as well, about 30%, slightly cooler temperatures. Could see some showers on your Friday as well. Here's how things look over the next 24 hours. Again, about a 30% chance of a shower this evening, 20 degrees at 8 o'clock. You'll wake up to 12 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. Tomorrow, 15 by the noon hour, and we should get up to a high of 20 by 4 p.m. The other thing this evening is that those wind gusts could pick up intermittently, but increasing clouds for the most part, and still fairly warm, 21 degrees after a daytime high today of 24. Well, disturbing allegations out of Gatineau tonight. Police have arrested 4 men on sexual assault charges involving minors, and there is concern there could be more victims. CTV's Dylan Dyson joins us with the details. Dylan.
Patricia, Gatineau police say the alleged offenses involve several victims from both Ottawa and Gatineau who were between the ages of 12 and 18. Police have arrested 28-year-old Mohamed Dulde Sow, 29-year-old Kwame Samuel Levi Minomekpo, 30-year-old Jonathan Mwanda Kuika, and 31-year-old Emmanuel Lakota Sangwa. All 4 men have been charged with sexual assault, sexual contact, and administering or attempting to administer a drug or substance. Police say the accused would use the same method of contacting victims through social media apps like Snapchat, and then meet up with them at a place such as a shopping mall before taking them to a residence in Gatineau where the men would attempt to drug them. It is this repeated pattern that makes police believe there are more victims.
They were contacted through media, so they were writing down and then giving rendezvous in a shopping center, for example, and then they were bringing to a home in the Chemin Savane in Gatineau.
Police say the offenses took place in Ottawa and Gatineau between 2024 and May 22nd of this year. Police are asking anyone with information or anyone who believes they may have been a victim to come forward. Gatineau police are also using this arrest as an opportunity to remind parents to monitor their child's mobile devices and ensure they know who it is they are communicating with. Patricia.
So important. All right. CTV's Dylan Dyson live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, here in Ottawa, police have charged a man in connection with an alleged sexual assault, and investigators believe there could be other victims in this case as well. Police say the incident happened 2 months ago under the Mackenzie King Bridge between 11 p.m. and midnight on March 28th. Officers arrested a 50-year-old suspect on Monday. Anyone who was driving along Colonel By during that time and has dash cam footage, or anyone who may have witnessed anything suspicious in the area, is asked to contact police. One woman is dead after a crash on Highway 17 this morning. It happened just after 10:30 in Whitewater region between Renfrew and Pembroke. OPP say the crash involved 2 vehicles. A 62-year-old woman from Cobden, Ontario, died at the scene. It was originally promised to be a massive retirement complex with hundreds of units in the city's West End, but now it's a point of frustration for people living in the area after nearly 3 years with no progress on what is still just a concrete shell of a building. The stalled project is located on the corner of Baseline Road and Clyde Avenue. CTV's Austin Lee joins us live with the latest on this. Austin.
Yeah, Patricia, some of the people that I spoke with today, they called this project an eyesore, saying that it's a shame there's still no progress on the 2-tower high-rise, especially given the pressure people are facing in the housing market. The area councillor, he is hopeful that work will one day continue. The skeleton of a planned 402-unit apartment complex sits vacant. No work is being done here, as has been the case for roughly 3 years.
I find it kind of sad. Every time we go by, we say, is anything happening? Nothing's been happening.
Maybe better screening of companies who are working on projects as a community might help these kind of, to prevent this kind of issues.
Originally planned as retirement residences at the corner of Baseline and Clyde Avenue, the project started in 2022 before the first contractor went bankrupt. Smart Centers, the owner of the Laurentians Plaza Strip Mall, now owns the incomplete building, but they still have to go through a site plan renewal with the city, and that is a slow-moving process.
In our most recent correspondence, they indicated that process should be done this year. And then we're all praying that construction will restart. We'll get these buildings done and people will be able to live at this very prominent and busy street corner.
Area Councillor Riley Brockington says Smart Centers has the support of the city.
These buildings have been empty for way too long. They are now an eyesore within the community. We want to see this project completed, We support smart centers advancing with these residential towers. Let's get it done.
With the concrete structure exposed to the elements, Brockington says concerns have been raised about the project's structural integrity.
My understanding, the building is sound. It is monitored 24 hours a day. There are cameras, and it's visually inspected on a normal frequency.
And with no timeline for completion or even when the work will resume, it remains a hot topic for people in the area.
Well, it's an eyesore. More can be done, and it's taken too long to do it, which is very common with a lot of things around the city I've found since moving here.
And we reached out to Smart Centers for an update on when the work on that project will resume, but they did not respond to our request for comment. Patricia.
Okay, Austin, CTV's Austin Lee, live for us tonight. Thank you. Moving now to Old Ottawa East, where residents are raising concerns about a proposal to build a 6-story residential building just steps from the canal. It would require tearing down a current apartment building, and the tenants living there are worried about the possibility of eviction. The new building would replace the current one at 441 Echo Drive near the Flora footbridge. CTV's Tyler Fleming joins us in studio with more on this. Tyler.
Yeah, Patricia, the proposed design is for a 52-unit residential building with a 3-story underground parking garage, and it's leaving many longtime residents worried about eviction and losing affordable rent-controlled units. For the last decade, Faisal has called this apartment home.
It is an incredible community. Some tenants have been here for 41 years, 36 years, 26 years.
Now they may all have to leave after learning the landlord wants to tear down the 16-unit apartment in favor of a new 6-story, 52-unit complex.
What they're doing is they're destroying our affordable housing because none of us will be able to afford to live here. Once they tear this down and build their executive suites.
My mom has lived here since 1999.
If the developer chooses to begin construction, Patricia Malloy worries about the possibility of a 120-day eviction notice, the legal minimum requirement.
All the people who have been here a long time, so they're not paying market rent, and now all of a sudden they're going to have to pay maybe $1,000 more a month on a fixed income. That's huge.
This is not what we want in our neighborhood.
Meanwhile, neighbors argue Echo Drive cannot support a development this large, including a 3-story underground garage with 54 parking spaces.
And then you think of all the service vehicles that come down to deliver things, guests that come to visit, it's terrible. Stairs going down.
And because of the future building's footprint, Margaret Van Terve may lose old-growth trees and backyard access.
We would have this to squeak by. It's ridiculous.
Many hope the developer remains flexible in its final design, which would need to be approved by City Council.
We really need to make sure that there's options in place for existing tenants, as well as that there's consultation with the community around what this building looks like, how it functions.
Don't do it. Don't demolish this building.
It's not about how long we've got. It's about sustainability. It's about affordable housing. It's about respecting just the way this neighborhood is.
CTV News reached out to the landlord and developer JB Holdings and have not yet received a response. Community members are holding an information session next Tuesday evening at St. Paul's University. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Tyler Fleming live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, it is official. Liberal MP Stephen Guilbeault will be resigning his seat in the House of Commons this summer. He says he's making the decision because of his party's change in policies on climate change. CTV's Mike Lecouture reports.
Stephen Guilbeault said his first goodbyes to his Quebec colleagues in the Liberal Party, sharing a warm moment with the finance minister on the way out.
I want to applaud the person. I want to applaud his dedication to build Canada.
Guilbeault said his decision to leave politics began when he resigned from cabinet after the federal government inked an energy deal with Alberta with a plan to build a new pipeline. He's worried it will put Canada's emission reduction targets out of reach.
We're not committing to being carbon neutral by 2050. We're saying something like we'll strive to be carbon neutral, but we know that we won't be able to achieve.
The former environment minister warns Canadians are going to pay the price for the rolling back of climate change policies that he helped champion. And the Quebec MP feels there has been a shift within the Liberal Party since last year's election.
That platform, so commitments that we made to Canadians, mentioned climate change 28 times. It did not mention pipeline once.
Hours before those comments, Prime Minister Mark Carney defended his government's record on fighting climate change while also praising Guilbeault's work.
We worked together when I was UN Special Representative on climate action and finance as well, so we worked together closely in a variety of areas, and I've always enjoyed working with him.
While Guilbeault feels the Liberals have watered down climate change policies, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre countered that argument.
Mr. Guilbeault's radical anti-development agenda, which Mr. Carney enthusiastically advocated in his own book, all of that remains in place.
Guilbeault says he's not the only member of the Liberal caucus who's uncomfortable with what's happening on climate change. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
Drivers will definitely want to wait a day to fill up the gas tank, with prices set to drop overnight. Prices at the pump are set to decrease by about 10 cents a litre tomorrow in Ottawa and across Ontario to an average of 173.9 cents a litre. That will be the lowest price in about a month. Analysts say the drop is because of news about a potential peace deal between the U.S. and Iran.
I figure we must be around 150,000 person hours.
Coming up, Ottawa's historic streetcar 696 has a new home. We'll share where you can now go to see the refurbished piece of this city's history. Here's a live look now through our Centennial Glass Skycam. Some clouds moving in, but still a beautiful evening in Ottawa. It is 21 degrees right now. We'll be back in a moment.
Ottawa is always on the move.
We're a big city
with a laid-back vibe,
where foodies love their sweets
and markets bursting with flavor,
wrapped up in waterways
and hot summer days.
This is a city where culture is on display.
And the future
meets the past.
Where people come together.
Always proud.
Often loud. Whee!
And positively the best place to live.
We move with you, Ottawa!
Well, taking a look at the roads on this Wednesday evening, once again, it is that typical hotspot where you're seeing the backups there, Woodruff, Pinecrest, that area where there is the lane closure in effect. Otherwise, for the most part, things are moving well on your drive home. Well, part of Ottawa's transit history has a new home. For more than 2 decades, volunteers have been restoring streetcar 696. And while it's not quite finished, it is now on display. CTV's Peter Sperling had a closer look.
It's the next stop and a new chapter for historic Ottawa streetcar.
Oh, excellent. That's the way we would like to see it.
It has a new home.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But now I believe it.
Riom LaPlante, along with other volunteers, has spent more than 2 decades restoring streetcar 696.
I figure we must be around 150,000 person hours.
Well, he estimates it's about 90% complete. Restoration of the more than 100-year-old vehicle hit a bumpy ride, including losing space at an OC Transpo bus garage at one point.
Since the pandemic, it's one thing another.
They did such an amazing job on restoration.
The project now back on track, with the streetcar relocating to the Railway Museum of Eastern Ontario in Smiths Falls.
It was made in Ottawa. It's an Ottawa streetcar, and we have been looking for a streetcar for a long time, and we heard about this one.
So exciting for us here at the museum. It's been many years since we've had kind of a new addition here.
The streetcar that once moved Ottawa passengers to work and play will now have a new life. Visitors to the museum can now get up and close to the streetcar, and the hope is eventually it may even run on these tracks. Museum officials say that may involve towing it at first with a small locomotive until it's able to run on its own.
And of course it'll have a bell. You gotta ring the bell on the streetcar.
Volunteers will continue to work on the piece of history, now accessible to visitors.
Will be a great success.
Peter Sperling, CTV News.
It is a perfect night for grilling with all of the sunshine and warm temperatures we've had the last couple of days. As we take a look now at the new Capital Barbecue patio right here at our Bell Media Ottawa studio here on George Street. We're getting ready for summer. A beautiful view of the ByWard Market where the sun was shining all day long. We are seeing a few clouds moving in this evening, and we do have a slight chance of some showers this evening. We'll see more of that over the next couple of days, where for the most part, right up until Tuesday, there is a chance of some showers in the forecast. Taking a look across Canada now at what others are experiencing today. It continues to be cold in St. John's and in Charlottetown, 8 degrees there. Halifax, not much warmer with a mix of sun and cloud, and 9 degrees. Some nice temperatures into Ontario, 24, and sunny in Toronto, just like we had here, 25 in Windsor. More of that heat out west. Regina, again, the hot spot at 32 degrees, 31 in Saskatoon. Some 26s on the board for Edmonton and Calgary. Lots of sunshine in Vancouver today and a daytime high of 18 degrees. So tonight we'll get down to about 12 degrees in most parts of our region with some overcast skies. We could see some winds pick up this evening right here in Ottawa as well. And again, a slight chance of showers this evening into tomorrow morning and early afternoon as well. 10 degrees in Bancroft and Pembroke. Trenton seeing 13 degrees. 10 to the east in Montreal and Mont-Tremblant. Tremblant getting 10, Montreal a little bit warmer. 10 degrees in Gatineau, 12 in Kemptville, 10 in Petawawa, and 9 and overcast to the north in Maniwaki. So taking a look at the day tomorrow, again, we'll be up above 20. We should see a mix of sun and cloud, about a 30% chance of showers late morning and early afternoon right here in Ottawa. Slightly warmer along the Seaway tomorrow, 22 in Kingston and in Trenton, 20 in Pembroke. Bancroft will see 19 degrees for the most part, right around that 20-degree mark, and we'll be in that vicinity over the next few days as well. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast now, brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Center, celebrating over 80 years in family business. So again, tomorrow for your Thursday, 21 degrees with a 30% chance of showers, slightly cooler on Friday, and we're going to elevate the possibility of precipitation. It's at 60% on your Friday. We do have some sunshine in there on Saturday, but again, we could see some shower activity. 19 degrees, 20 and similar on Sunday. And again, we'll stay with the mix of sun and cloud, maybe a shower or two Monday. Tuesday, looking beautiful and warm by the time we get to midweek. And June next week.
We can show now as a company and as a country how closely we want to work with Canada.
Well, just ahead, Canada moves away from the U.S. and towards Europe for a major defense purchase. Our popular Team of the Week segment is back. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, upload your video to ctvnewsottawa.ca. Well, it's the federal government's latest move away from the U.S. Prime Minister Mark Carney announcing today Canada is turning to Sweden for a cutting-edge aerial surveillance system that will patrol the skies, including in the far north. CTV's Judy Trin has more on what this means for Canada's defense.
A packed room at a defense conference, listening to the Prime Minister's mantra.
Build, partner, buy. We are focused first on building in Canada.
Exemplified by an investment in a joint Swedish-Canadian venture.
I'm pleased to announce that Canada has entered into negotiations to procure Saab's airborne early warning and control aircraft.
Saab's Global Eye surveillance system is built on the platform of Bombardier's corporate jet. The company has at least 40 aircraft in its pipeline to be sold to Canada and other allies. 3,000 jobs could be created. Economic spin-offs are in the tens of billions of dollars.
What this will do is create a new layer of job opportunities in terms of the modifications of the aircraft. So what Bombardier is doing now is getting actively involved in the discussions to create this secondary production.
Saab beat out an American competitor for its surveillance aircraft, momentum that it hopes could lift its chances of convincing Canada to purchase its Gripen fighter jet instead of the U.S.-made F-35. There are lineups to get into its cockpit.
We can show now as a company and as a country how closely we want to work with Canada. And if I can show how I can create an industrial collaboration and a hub on this type of capability in Canada.
At the Lockheed Martin booth, the F-35 simulator and its test pilot attracts interest but not buzz. Amid U.S. trade tensions, moving forward with procuring fighter jets has been paused for more than a year, worrying Canadian suppliers who have much to lose if the F-35 isn't selected.
direct jobs, but also strengthening the company's programs and capabilities.
Wrapping up the negotiations for these surveillance planes will likely take a few more months. As for a decision on the fighter jets, the federal government is still refusing to say when. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc will be heading to Washington next week for trade talks ahead of the July 1st deadline for a review of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico Free Trade Agreement. LeBlanc was last in Washington in March, where he met with U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer. Since then, trade tensions have continued to simmer, with the U.S. raising concerns over Canada's supply management policies, while Canada has pushed back against tariffs on steel, aluminum, automobiles, and forestry products. Well, in tonight's big picture, a rare and spectacular sighting in the Greater Toronto area early this morning, where what appeared to be a meteor lit up the sky.
The full cast audio editions. Listen on Audible.
This dashcam video was captured just north of the city. Meteors are streaks of light that appear when space rock or meteorite enters the Earth's atmosphere and burns up. The event has yet to be confirmed, but there have been 40 reports of sightings from across southern Ontario to the American Meteor Society. Well, now some other stories you need to know right now. An Ottawa councillor is calling on city staff to draft a renoviction bylaw, but staff say Ottawa doesn't need one. That's because the province recently amended the Residential Tenancies Act to enhance protection for tenants, which staff say covers anything that would be included in a municipal bylaw. Still, Councillor Ariel Troster says a renovictions bylaw is needed in Ottawa and plans to introduce a motion at next week's Planning and Housing Committee meeting to direct staff to draft one. 21 commercial vehicles were pulled off Ottawa's roads during a safety inspection blitz in the city's East End. Police officers were out inspecting vehicles on Monday. Police say there were serious safety concerns with the vehicles, including defective brakes, unsafe tires, and load security issues.
The pattern on your dermoscopy is very reassuring, so nothing to worry about at all. Thank you.
Dozens of people lined up for a free skin cancer screening on Parliament Hill today, hosted by the Canadian Dermatology Association. Certified dermatologists were on site to check people's skin for signs of cancer. The initiative also highlights the importance of access to care and early detection.
Looking to center, passing it across Jarvis, back to Svechnikov, scores! Evgeny Svechnikov has won it in overtime.
The Habs will be looking to tie up their series tonight after Monday's overtime loss to the Carolina Hurricanes in Game 3 in Montreal. Carolina currently has a 2-1 series lead. Game 4 is tonight, again at the Bell Centre. Puck drop is at 8 p.m.
Vegas goes back to the Stanley Cup final.
And whoever wins that Montreal-Carolina series will be facing off against the Vegas Golden Knights in the Stanley Cup final. Las Vegas beat the Colorado Avalanche 2-1 last night to sweep them out of the playoffs.
It's basically like the unknown secret of Quebec.
Well, coming up, we head to Sherbrooke, Quebec, where a local company is making a crucial piece of equipment involved in every NHL and PWHL game. Well, Montreal is buzzing with Stanley Cup playoff excitement, and fans are trying to get their hands on any merchandise they can, including official game pucks, which, as CTV's Genevieve Bushman tells us, are printed in Quebec.
It's game on for NHL playoff puck production. A sport of its own, really. Thousands of logo-printed pucks have to quickly roll off the line here in Glasgow with each new playoff round. All the team's pucks are decorated here, but the hottest items, those adorned with the cherished C, says CEO Anita Chande.
We're sending just to the Canadians about 3,000 for each game. But don't forget, there's retailers all across the country right now that want a piece of this.
There's warm-up and souvenir pucks, but in Glasgow also makes official game pucks.
They're similar to the other ones, except here is where you have the sensors.
Made in Canada, logo printed in these old army barracks in Quebec's eastern townships for all 32 NHL teams, but also the PWHL. These are champions pucks for the victorious Montreal Victoire.
Fans are buying merchandise, so we have a lot of products going out this week.
Local production, she says, helps in Glasgow react quickly when teams win or lose. The company has also scored deals for a wide range of logo-printed merchandise for several other leagues and has a busy summer ahead with FIFA and the Blue Jays' 50th anniversary. The company, too, is half a century old.
It's basically like the unknown secret of Quebec.
It was started by Jason Drelle's grandfather and started out making hockey sticks.
My grandfather founded Sherwood also as the first company, which we are in the building, Sherwood building.
It's history woven into the fabric of Canada's game. And while it says it treasures its relationships with all teams, well, there's a special connection to the Habs.
I have heard that there's a few kisses and good wishes going with every puck that's going into the Bell Centre.
And the workers are going to keep watching closely to see whether they have to keep making pucks with this logo on them for the next round. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
Some of the big Canadian banks reported earnings today. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has the details.
The banks reported strong earnings for the second quarter, despite some concerns about the Canadian economy. Scotiabank says its second quarter profit hit $2.6 billion, up from just over $2 billion a year ago. Its domestic banking business did well, but the CEO did point out stressors on the Canadian economy, including higher energy costs and the upcoming CUSMA review. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar down to $72.29. West Texas Intermediate down over $5 to $88.68. Western Canadian Select down over $2 at $75.58. And the TSX lost 241 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Well, just ahead, we meet our Myers Team of the Week. We'll be joined by a local power wheelchair hockey team.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Welcome back. It is time now to meet our Myers Team of the Week. Teams are invited to write in and tell us why their team is the greatest. And this team is part of the Ottawa Power Wheelchair Hockey League. The Ottawa Capitals, an organization that provides athletes with disabilities the opportunity to play competitive and recreational hockey in an inclusive environment. And this summer, they will be traveling to compete at Nationals, which is absolutely amazing. And we are very excited to have them all here joining us in studio. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much, women, for being here. All right, Matt, can you tell me a little bit about wheelchair hockey? Because there's two kinds of things we think of: sledge hockey out on the ice, and this is wheelchair hockey that's a little more like floor hockey, I guess, right?
That's it, yeah. So we use a wiffle ball to play. We use sticks. Either players hold their stick or attach it to their chair, depending on their physical limitations. And, you know, it's a great sport and very competitive. And, you know, we love to play, and it gives us a sense of community and family, and gives us something to look forward to every Sunday.
I love that. Yeah. Obviously very inclusive, a great group here. Looks very hard when I look at what you guys are doing there on the floor, on the screen. And it's expensive, right, to move around and to be part of what you're going to be doing at Nationals and whatnot. And this $1,000 that's coming in, what's that going to do to help out?
That's going to help us a lot. So obviously power chair equipment isn't cheap, so that will help with any repairs that need to be done on power chairs. Equipment like sticks, fresher equipment for newer players to use, and also there is a fee to go into the tournament, so we're going to be using that to help players with the entry.
And Kellen, what do you love about this game?
I just love, as Matt said, it gives us a sense of community, but as a child, I never thought I was going to be able to play a competitive sport at a high level. So it gave me the opportunity to compete at the highest level, just like my peers did, just like anyone else.
Love that. I mean, it's the best part of our lives for so many of us. We love the sports. And Louis, what do you like about being involved in this and seeing all of these people be able to live their best lives that way?
Of course, it's just like Kellen said, it's the community, it's the love that's around the folks that come and play hockey every Sunday. There's, we all have that common interest in, wanting to be competitive, but also, wanting to have that social time and have that time together. And it's just really cool to see that these players have that opportunity. I'm really excited to see, players countrywide come together and have that same passion this summer. So yeah,
that's going to be amazing. You're proud of this group and excited that they're going to make this happen. And Mike from Myers is here, and he's going to help you a little bit with making that happen, bringing in $1,000. Love it. I mean, Mike, obviously an amazing group. How do you feel about being a part of this?
Well, what can I say? It's the best part of my day, being able to give back to those who deserve it the most and are clearly working extremely hard towards their goals. But that's the one thing I like about coming here so much, is that you learn about the variety of sports that we have to offer here in Ottawa, and what's possible and what's available to everyone, really. So congratulations and good luck at the upcoming tournament.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love that. And all the work that happens to make it possible. And we thank all of you for being here. And of course, if you would like to let us know about your team and be part of the Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, you can just jump online, submit your team at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Well, coming up, Canada's Olympians and Paralympians get a standing ovation here in Ottawa today. More of that celebration just ahead. Taking a live look now through our Centennial Glass sky cam. So some clouds moving in after a sunny day, but still beautiful out there in terms of temperature. It is 21 degrees in Ottawa this evening. Maybe a patio for a few people tonight. We're going to be back in just a few minutes to wrap things up.
Tomorrow on Your Morning Ottawa, we're in your neighborhood. We pay a visit to the Shankman Arts Center in Orleans. Tune in on CTV or stream us live on Crave starting at 6 a.m.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Here's what's on CTV tonight. E-Talk, The Big Bang Theory, Master Chef, The Floor, and back-to-back episodes of Big Bang. Here's a recap of the top stories we are following right now.
And we found that money that was intended to come to us as a result of proceeds from these events didn't make it to us. It was entrusted to a former employee, and it didn't make it to us.
The CHEO Foundation says a former employee misdirected money raised through third-party fundraising events.
Everything that's being discussed and proposed is sort of part-time measures or measures that will only last for a year. We need to invest in things like housing, mental health supports, hospitals, etc.
City Council looks to redirect provincial funding to spruce up the ByWard Market. That money would go towards safety and security instead.
We need as much funding as possible to support people who are going through a drug crisis. Not everyone is going to seek treatment at a heart hub immediately.
Ottawa's top doctor is issuing a warning about more public drug use and possible overdoses, with the remaining supervised consumption sites in the city set to close in less than 3 weeks. A final check on the weather after a beautiful day. We're looking at increasing cloud tonight into tomorrow. 12 degrees is what you will wake up to. Slight chance of some showers in the morning and into the afternoon tomorrow as well. A daytime high slightly cooler than where we were at today. We got to 24 today, looking at 21 degrees tomorrow with about a 30% chance of showers. 20 on Friday to finish off the week. Quite a good chance it's going to be wet, about a 60% chance of some shower activity on Friday. Saturday and Sunday, both a mix of sun and cloud. 19 on Saturday, 20 on Sunday. A chance of showers in there right through until Monday. And then we have a mix of sun and cloud on Tuesday and looking at some nice warm temperatures again by midweek next week. Well, time now to check in to see what our news team will be working on for tonight. Stefan Keys is here on the desk at 11:30. Steph?
That's right, Patricia. Thank you. May is Asian Heritage Month, the time we celebrate the contributions of those with Asian ancestry. But tonight, we'll share how you can keep that going beyond the month of May. The Real Asian Film Festival, and that is REEL, to be clear, is months away. Though it's happening in Toronto, we're learning that it's something that may be worth traveling for. Tonight, we'll show you why organizers say it's still needed and continues to grow. Plus, we'll have highlights of Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Final between the Habs and the Hurricanes. Get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca. And join us tonight for CTV News at 11:30. Patricia.
All right, thank you, Steph. Will do. And finally for us tonight, nearly 150 Canadian Olympic and Paralympic athletes who competed in the 2026 Milano Cortina Winter Games were here in the capital today for a special celebration.
At Milano Cortina, you showed the world the very best of Canada. Remember that sound as you walked into the stadium for Canada. Remember what you delivered for Canada. You made us all so very proud.
The Team Canada members visited Rideau Hall, where they were welcomed by Prime Minister Mark Carney. They also met with some local school kids. Very, very cool. Canada won 21 medals at the 2026 Winter Olympics and 15 medals at the Paralympic Games.
Very nice.
Kind of amazing to see them all together.
Honestly,
like that,
so good. I love that.
A great group, for sure. We had a great group in studio today as
We
well.
sure
Our
did.
Team of the Week, the Ottawa Capitals, who are getting set for nationals, competing in wheelchair hockey, which is amazing, inclusive sport, and very well spoken in terms of advocating for their sport as well. We're going to give them the last word
For
tonight
sure.
and let them...
On the last wave.
the last wave. There you go. Best of luck to them as they head off to nationals. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Stefan Keys will be here with all the news you need to know at 11:30.